We've had two solid, great films so far. One being pretty much a damn near masterpiece, I would say. For me, it was perfect. But can they stick the landing with this story? Can they do that? I mean, that's always an impossible task, man. Especially for a rebooted trilogy. Yeah, that can be a stressful task at hand. So, but I think they succeeded in that regard.
Have you come to save your apes? I came for you.
War for the Planet of the Apes is again directed by Matt Reeves and written by Mark Bomback and Matt Reeves. The film stars Andy Serkis once again, but also Woody Harrelson and Steven Zahn. According to IMDb's plot synopsis, after the apes suffer unmanageable losses, Caesar wrestles with his darker instincts and begins his own mythic quest to avenge his kind. So far, like I said, these rebooted Planet of the Apes films have been excellent. Damn near, I would say, being the best trilogy of film. That's a hard task to do, but they somehow have done it well so far. So I hope it continued well enough when War got announced. I mean, of course, last film did well, so keep it going. When I saw this film back in 2017, I remember really loving the film. I really enjoyed it for what it did and how it ended things off. I mean, no longer that's the case, but still, at the time, for this to be a closing chapter for at least now Caesar's story, I just really thought it was a perfect ending. Having rewatched the film before seeing the newest one, I still think it's a perfect ending. Pretty much is a really good closing chapter of this part of the Apes film. So here are some of the positives that I found. The performances are excellent. Once again, Andy Serkis, magnificent as Caesar, as always. This man truly makes you feel empathy and pain for Caesar's struggle in his fight against the humans that he never wanted to fight, but because of the events of the last film, he's got no choice, pretty much having to fight them. Without Serkis playing this character, I don't know how this role would have played with somebody else playing Caesar. I don't think I could ever picture anybody else doing it. I think Andy Serkis is the perfect guy. Maybe there could be different interpretations, but Andy Serkis, man, he is easily the thing that really catapults this series to being just greatness. As for the newcomers, Woody Harrelson is intimidating and menacing as the Colonel. Harrelson plays the Colonel as a determined villain that makes the audience understand his point of view. You understand the reason why he's doing the things he's doing. As much as what he does in the film is heinous, you understand why he has that viewpoint. You understand his struggle of why he hates the apes so much. And I think he just does an amazing job with that. And I think both Serkis and Harrelson are electrifying whenever they act side by side together. They just know how to play off each other so well and play their characters so naturally that you just buy the roles that they're playing. Steven Zahn is hilarious as Bad Ape, a chimp who fled from his zoo home when the simian flu began, ran away, and so he is now living a life of solitude, pretty much. For a character that could have easily been annoying and weird to have in this story, because again, this is a revenge film. So for them to add a character like this, you would think to yourself, this is gonna feel off to have a funny character be, and this can't. But no, it works because of the writing, but also because of Han's performance. I mean, it's truly amazing to see a character like this get a huge fan response of people loving this character, especially now more recently with the "oh no" meme, which I love. I will never get sick and tired of that meme. But both Serkis and Zahn are also great together in the scenes that they are in. And I think they truly give pretty much a good rapport with regards to their viewpoints and, especially that little conversation that they have when they first meet Bad Ape and the conversation that he has with him. And I think it all works well. The direction is fantastic. Once again, director Matt Reeves knocks it out of the park by making it both thrilling and engaging throughout this entire movie. He knows how to keep the film entertaining. Matt Reeves is a true genius behind the camera. I don't know what it is about this man. He inspires me with regards to what he does, with regards to how he captures things, with regards to how it should look, but really just how it's well handled, how it's well directed, how he manages to position characters in like situations of one person gets the upper hand, the other gets the upper hand. It's just true genius. This man is. The visuals are incredible. Each film consistently has jaw dropping visuals, and the movie continues thanks to, in part, to the motion capture performances of Serkis and company. If there's one thing consistently I can always say about these Planet of the Apes films, if nothing else, the visuals have always been up to par, and they have always significantly always look amazing all throughout. It's always been consistent. So again, with Serkis and the mocap company, they just truly make you believe these apes. It's incredible that we're 3 movies in. There's never been a sign of mishap or showing any sign of problems with regards to the mocap. No, man, they truly make sure that these apes walk and talk like they are, especially now that they are a little bit more advanced than the previous 2 films. The cinematography is stellar. Cinematographer Michael Cern, who returns again, makes a gorgeous looking film that captures both the landscape and the internal conflicts that Caesar faces within him. Easily one of the best looking movies of the 2010s. Up there with Dawn. It's incredible on how this movie looks with regards to they capture the mountains and the winter vibes that it gives off. It's incredible on how cold and damp it can feel, but it makes you feel like it's an internal conflict that Caesar has with himself of wanting to avenge his kin, but at the same time, will he turn it into his what his friend Koba wanted him to be? And so I think it does a great job of capturing that dynamic of how the film should look. The music is amazing. Once again, composer Michael Giacchino creates a thrilling and immersive score that captures the series' tone. Giacchino truly is a master of composing. This man still works to this day as a composer, and I hope he still gets more work, but more recently after something like Werewolf by Night, I hope he gets to direct because he can be a good director, but there's just nothing amazing than to see this man compose. He truly is one of the best composers we have working in the industry, and it's incredible to see him still thrive in that area. The action is intense. Every action sequence feels as if they are either small or large scale fights, but they are exciting and thrilling. It keeps the tension going to the end. The fights in these films, among this series, have always really captured the tone and the grittiness of how this series should be. It's always been a consistent tone. There's never been a diverged shift in how one movie is over the other. They have always been consistent on how the tone should feel. And with the action, they continue that. The action here, it's exciting, it's intense. It makes you really excited to see what the apes can do. The production is stunning. Seeing the sets and props shows the attention to detail all throughout this film. The dedication to this series on the sets is shown full scale. I give the props department and the set decorators all major props because do they know how to make these places, these tangible items feel so real, or at the very least like feel as if like this really fits with what this movie's supposed to be. And so I give them huge amount of props to the crew, the set decorators, the props department, all of them for keeping that up. The story is interesting. Seeing Caesar go on a revenge spree while also dealing with the internal conflict made for an engaging plot. Perfect end to his story. I'm not going to say what if you haven't seen it, but I'm just saying what a way to end Caesar's story. It's incredible to me on how this story wraps up previous films, comes close to what the original series was like. I mean, now granted they're different in how their stories started, but still they were getting close to what the original series, at least with like the original Planet of the Apes from '68, started off with and where that would lead to. So to see them continue that story, but see the conflict that Caesar struggles with, I thought was done very well. The writing is sharp. Writers Mark Bomback and Matt Reeves craft a script that makes for an interesting and character-driven film. Dawn and this movie are some of the best written films, hands down. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The writing between these 2 movies, but really for this one, stellar. It's amazing. They really do care about this series and the fact that they took their time with this because this is another 3 years after Dawn. It's incredible to me. It's almost perfect. And I say that, it's almost perfect. Minus one issue I have with this film. One issue, you guys, and that's it. It is so close to being perfect. There's just one issue I have. Here is the only negative. I do think that the Colonel, I love the character, but I think that the villain's screen time here is short. I really love this character. I really do. I think he is a very antagonistic villain to this film. But I do think his screen appearance was minimal. I do wish he was given more time to be in it and to have Woody Harrelson and Andy Serkis still going back and forth with each other. Aside from that, this is a satisfying end to, and I keep on repeating this, to at least Caesar's story, because originally this was the end and it's no longer that anymore. But still, for this film to end as well as it did, it's impressive. Overall, they stuck the landing. A wonderful job to at least end and wrap up this story at the time. It was an exciting one, it was a thrilling one, and for that, it was amazing. I'm giving War for the Planet of the Apes a 9 out of 10. It's damn near perfect, you guys. If they had just made more screen time for the Colonel, that would work. But otherwise, this is an amazing film, great closing, and great send off to Caesar as a whole. And I couldn't be more proud to have seen this in the theater when I did. And the fact that this was a couple of years ago, man. I was 16 when I saw this, my god. So now I will be giving you guys my review for Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and we will move on from there to the Mad Max films. So yes, look forward to those reviews and other movie TV show reviews coming soon.